Zoran Mamdani fans are finding out the hard way that, hey, maybe democratic socialism isn't all it's made out to be. So today was Zoran's inauguration day, and this is how the New York Post covered it. Zoran Mamdani fans disappointed by disastrous block party with no food, bathrooms. That's right. They marketed it. They promoted it as some sort of block party. And I don't know about you. When I think about block parties, I think about food, definitely access to bathrooms, dancing. It's just a good time. But no, this wasn't a block party. This was your standard fare, your just run-of-the-mill average, in this case below average, a Fyre Fest level inauguration. It was a total disaster, and we should have known it was going to be a disaster just based on how large the crowds were early this morning. So they stretched over 15 city blocks, and that was before you even got to Liberty Street, which was where the real throngs of people were. So you can see the crowd just stretching for block after city block. Now, to make matters worse, it was about 20 degrees today in New York City, and with all those skyscrapers, you can just imagine what the wind chill and the real feel would have been like, just totally miserable conditions. But up front, right where the inauguration happened, there was only room for 4,000 people. So everyone else, well, they were stuck out in the cold in these tiny, squished, pinned-in areas, and they had to watch the inauguration on TV. In fact, the crowd got so rowdy that at one point they started chanting at the police officers, "Let us in."
Let us in! 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 Let us in!
Yeah, so just an absolute disaster there. And like I said, when you hear the word block party, you're expecting a block party, food, celebration, dancing, a good time. But these people were just miserable. More from this article here. It was not exactly what I was expecting, said Brooklyn resident Shane Turner, 30. I was expecting food and music. I could have watched this from home, a 25-year-old Queens woman added. And everywhere you look on social media, people are just saying the same thing. Well, it got even worse as the actual inauguration was underway. And as is most often the case in these events, there are opening speakers, to warm up the crowd, build up to the main event. And so they had AOC there. And AOC, in the middle of New York City, is bragging about how the city has elected and is now inaugurating its first Muslim mayor, who, by the way, got sworn in on the Quran.
Zoran Mamdani will be the first Muslim mayor of our great city. He will be our first immigrant mayor in over a century. And he will be the youngest mayor of New York City in generations. But most importantly, Zoran will be a mayor for all of us. With that,
for some reason, I doubt that. I think just as scary as all of this is the crowd's reaction and the thunderous applause. Now, you may have noticed the porta potties, and some of you may be saying, hey, Daniel, I thought you and the New York Post just said there were no porta potties, there were no bathrooms. Then why do I see all of these porta potties in the bathroom? Well, you'll actually notice some distance between the back of the crowd and the porta potties, and that's because the porta potties were actually separate for people working the event and for the VIPs there. So this is another piece of footage that was taken before the inauguration started, and you can notice here, let me move myself. You'll notice right at the bottom left-hand corner, this sign there that says authorized personnel only. That sign is important because we'll see another version of that sign by the porta potties. So you can see the porta potties are in their own fenced-in area, and you see again that same sign there, authorized personnel only. So that's why whenever they show the big shots of the crowd, you see the porta potties, and it's like, wait, I thought all the reporting says that people were complaining that there were no bathrooms, and they were standing out in the cold for hours, and they couldn't leave, and there was no food, and it was miserable. Well, it's just an optical illusion, so to speak. Now, as I mentioned, Zoran Mamdani was sworn in on a Quran. You'll notice here his wife is the one holding it. But if you take a closer look, notice her boots. Now, I usually am not one to judge someone's fashion, but when someone runs as a democratic socialist, when someone wants to tax the rich, when someone says that rich people are the reason why the rest of us are struggling to pay our bills, when people, that was basically his whole campaign, right? Grievances against success, grievances against the American dream and the American success story. I think there's a lot of hypocrisy in this picture, because if we take a closer look at her boots here, you'll notice these are not normal boots. You'll also notice that her jacket just happens to be really nice. But a few key details to point out. They're pointed boots. The heel, though, you'll notice the back of the heel, the inner back end of the heel, is made out of wood, which is really, that stands out. But on top of that, you can see the stitching at the very back of her calf. Well, eagle-eyed social media users were able to figure out what boot this is. And this is what they call a Shelley boot. You'll notice it matches exactly pointed toes. The back of the heel has that wood and then the stitching up the back. But take a look at that price tag, $630. Now, look, if you work hard, if you have, all of us have goals, right? Maybe it's a dream car, maybe it's a dream bag. For kids, maybe it's an Xbox or a PlayStation, right? Or a Nintendo Switch. There are so many goals we can have in life. So I'm not poo-pooing working hard and achieving your goals, no matter how much they can cost. But again, if you've run your entire campaign, if your entire persona is tax the rich, eat the rich people are evil, and your wife is going around in $630 boots. On top of that, her coat, we now know, is a custom luxury fur coat. This is according to page 6. I would imagine her coat, being a fur coat, custom-made luxury, is probably way more than $630. So who knows how much she's wearing? Again, I'm not criticizing her fashion choice. I'm not criticizing success or working hard. I think those are things to be admired and things that we should encourage. But talk about hypocrisy. And that's usually what we see in democratic socialism. Rules for thee, but not for me. He's playing this smarmy game of attacking the elites when he himself and his wife happen to be elites. It's amazing that the people of New York can't see through this. Of course, they can't see through it because the media won't cover Democrat candidates fairly. Just take a look at this moment when Zoran Mamdani began his inauguration speech. Oh, wait, what was that? I don't know about you, but to me, that looks like the Nazi salute that Elon Musk did earlier last year, right? At President Trump's inauguration, Elon put his hand to his heart, literally went like that and said, thank you to the people. Like he's throwing out his heart to the people. Thank you so much for handing us this victory. It's obviously the same gesture that Zoran is doing. I'm not claiming that he is a Nazi or that was a Nazi salute. But it just, again, shows, and obviously, if you're a longtime watcher of the channel, it's no secret that the mainstream media is biased, but clearly, at least half the country is still plugged into the mainstream media matrix. They still fall for the misinformation. They still fall for the stereotypes and the propaganda. Maybe because, they don't trust people, independent thinkers online. But that's why, I continue to point this stuff out, even though at this point, we know it's par for the course when it comes to mainstream media bias. This shouldn't be surprising, but for those of you perhaps who are watching my channel for the first time, believe it or not, when I take a look at my YouTube analytics, about 20% of my viewers in each video are new viewers, people who have never seen any video on my channel before. So if that's you, this is stuff we deal with all the time on the right side of the aisle. Well, what's funny is, so like I said, like I alluded to, this was the Fyre Festival of inaugurations. They promoted it, they marketed it as a block party. That obviously, like I've said twice before, creates a certain image here, right? And there was nothing special about this inauguration. In fact, it was more miserable than the typical inauguration that's outside. And, inauguration should be fun, but here people were standing for hours, penned in, it was freezing, yada, yada, yada. So no bathrooms, no food, no music, no dancing. And then Zoran, in the middle of all this, has the audacity to talk about, it's not about individualism, it's about the warmth of collectivism. Maybe you should read the room, buddy.
We will draw this city closer together. We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism. If our campaign demonstrated that the people of New York yearn for solidarity, then let this government foster it. Because no matter what you eat, how you pray, or where you come from, the words that most define us are the two we all share: New Yorkers.
Yeah, it's just sad that New York has elected to learn the hard way. You could have done the easy way. There's a reason we study history in schools, but hey, I guess that's the state of the public education system these days. As always, though, all of this is just my analysis and commentary. That's what's happening in the world of politics from my point of view, and I would love to hear from you. So how long do you think it's going to take before New Yorkers realize they've made a mistake? Do you think it'll happen this year? Do you think it's a matter of weeks, a matter of months, a matter of years? Let me know your predictions for that down in the comments below. Personally, I think his approval ratings are going to be in the toilet by the time summer comes, but we'll see. For those of you who've been asking, yes, I've seen your comments, I've gotten your emails, I've gotten your Facebook messages. Some of you, especially those of you that like I corresponded with regularly, I am so sorry I haven't responded yet. I'm thinking of a few off the top of my mind, like Joe, Rod, have not forgotten about all of you. Just trying to catch up on things, trying to get back into the swing of things. Many of you were wondering, hey, Daniel, it's been a while. What happened? In case you missed it, I did have a back injury. I sprained my back at towards the end of November. It was, according to the doctor, the exact quote was severe, but not serious. Not serious in that, you know, my spine is fine, my nerves are fine, but severe in the sense that, like, I literally was immobile for hours, couldn't walk for almost 24, or barely walked. Like, for me to go to my bathroom took like 20 minutes, like to walk to the bathroom, is how bad it was. And then after that, my aunt treated my mom and I, her sister, to a cruise. I did try to upload once on the cruise, and then after that, the internet was just so bad. And then obviously the holidays happened, and it's just been a mad rush. But it is a New Year, so Happy New Year to all of you. And my resolution, my goal actually, is to upload every single day this year, no matter what. So hopefully you guys can help keep me accountable. And obviously I would like to upload at least, you know, more than once, but at least once a day is going to be my main goal. I still owe some of you Governors Club shout outs. So governors, for again, in case some of you are new, those are people who give super tips or thanks to the channel. Super thanks or tips to the channel. I have not forgotten the last round of you. So I, like, mid-December, again, that was around the time of the cruise. So if you did that and you're like, hey, I didn't get a shout out, I promise I have not forgotten. I'm just sitting on that. And by the way, Merry Christmas, Merry belated Christmas, depending on how you view it. But to me, it's 12 days of Christmas. If you know, you know. So I personally still celebrate because I believe we're still in the Christmas season. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all of the things. Good to see you. If you haven't already, please be sure to smash that subscribe button as well as the like button. It really helps me out in the algorithm. And be sure to check out one of these videos, though since I haven't uploaded in a while, they might not be as relevant, but hey, maybe you haven't seen them yet.